Nation, this is Osa. I can't wait for the season to get started, get playing with you guys, get on the field, and represent the star. You guys be sure to go check out J Tuck and subscribe to the Cowboys fans only, and keep doing your thing, bro.
Doing Cowboys Nation, it's Kelvin Joseph. I can't wait for the season to get started. Be sure you check out J Tuck, subscribe to his channel. Keep shining, the sky's the limit. You know the vibe. Stop playing.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck. You are now tuned into the Cowboys fans only channel. So if you're new, do your boy a favor, comment, like, subscribe somewhere down there, and be sure to turn that notification bell to stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys content. Tonight, CFO gang, man, I got a real special guest, man, And if you watch draft content, if you're into film, this is definitely somebody you need to be following for Dallas Cowboys content, draft content, college football. Very knowledgeable, very insightful, man. He's funny. He's one of my guys I rock with on Twitter. So, man, CFO gang, I want to give a warm welcome to our guy, Voch Lombardi. What's going on, Voch, bro?
J Tuck thinks that boxing is better than MMA. Plus, he plays FIFA soccer on the daggone PS. So he ought to be ashamed of himself. I'm about to leave.
Not only do I play FIFA soccer, bro, I'm starting to get nice at FIFA soccer. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. Like, here's the thing. You play Madden?
Nope. I play old Madden games because the new Madden games is trash.
All right, you're right. You got me there, man. But if y'all play Madden, if you're a Madden player like me, and you turn around and play FIFA, bro, it's going to piss you off because everything that Madden players been wanting is actually in FIFA, man. It's completely two different games, man. But I'm gonna
everything except football, man. It's so, what you mean?
I'm telling you, I picked up the controller. I ain't put it down since, man. Hey, but we're going to talk about this boxing, this UFC thing a little bit later, man. But like I said, Voch, welcome to the channel, bro. I've been wanting to have you on for some time. Like I said, I appreciate your work, your efforts, everything you do, content creation-wise, man. You put in a lot of work, man. And I definitely appreciate everything you do, man. But I also want to say this, right? You was one of the ones when I was on the ledge, man, after this draft going on, man, I kind of wanted to jump, man, because I was kind of down and out because the draft didn't go how I expected, man. But you was the one like, nah, Tuck, nah, F-ums, what you kept saying. Like, all right, we gonna put up points. We gonna continue to roll. This thing's gonna continue to move. And so I was like, all right, man, Voch is actually making some sense. So you talked me off the ledge, bro, and I kind of appreciate you for that. Now I'm back, man. I'm back to talking my stuff on Twitter. I'm out to beat my chest. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott gonna do this. CeeDee Lamb gonna do this. And now we back, man. So I appreciate you. But we want to talk about something real quick, man, because I know a lot of people right now is on the ledge. So last week, the announcement came out. The Dallas Cowboys will be on Hard Knocks. So, Voch, I want to get your feelings about the Dallas Cowboys being on Hard Knocks for the 2021 season.
I think that it's a good thing. I mean, because first and foremost, I'm of the belief of who cares?
Right.
Who cares for real? You know what I mean? It's not going to be a distraction. It's not going to be, well, is somebody going to pick up Kellen Moore's playbook and they're going to get something on camera that some other team going to be watching it. Right. If you look at past Hard Knocks, what they do is they look at some third string wide receiver and they go fishing with him. Right. Or they follow the life of the fourth tight end and they watch him get cut and they watch his family in the you know what I'm saying, they in the stands and he catch some touchdown in the fourth quarter and they don't care. You know what I mean? Right. It's never the big name guys that you really care about. So the one thing that's got me most bothered is that people think just because we're on Hard Knocks, just because we're on camera, just because we're on television, that we're going to be distracted or that we're going to be bad or that we're going to be season's over with. Right. This is 2021 and I think people are taking this like it's the 80s. Like these Lawrence Taylor, Deacon Jones kind of cats walking around. Oh, I'm just hard-nosed. I just play football and that's it. Right. I don't do nothing else and that's it. Right. These guys got brands, man. Dak Prescott is Jordan brand. Jalen Smith got his little sunglass hut. Randy Gregory gonna come out with his own strand of marijuana one day. Right. Not only is the National Football League as a whole a lot more visible, but the Dallas Cowboys are used to all this. So you mean to tell me, sir, in training camp at an open practice in which they have 3 practices a day, one super secret practice practice, you know, like a gang of meetings all day. Then they got the open practice. You mean to tell me that 5 episodes of open practice is gonna be what's gonna make or break you in week 9 when you play whoever the hell we play in week 9? You gotta be ashamed of yourself. If we lose that game in week 9, we were either the worst team or we just weren't ready in general. Right. Some miscellaneous practice that got cameras there already is not what's gonna make or break you. You know what I'm saying? So I just want Cowboy fans to cool it and chill and get this free content while we watch Sean McKeon.
Right, and that's what I was saying. As a fan,
work at ice cream
I might see, you know, where they were coming from. They're talking about distractions for the rookie class or whatnot. But here's what it is. They playing for the Dallas Cowboys. There's going to be cameras in your face consistently, whether you want to or not. And you think about to that, was it 2017 season? We were on all or nothing, right? So Dak and Zeke and some of these younger guys is kind of our new leaders. They've been through it before. So it's not going to disrupt them, right? You know, you might have a few stories, as you mentioned. One of your guys who we're talking about here soon, I think he could actually benefit from Hard Knocks. So I think Cowboy fans need to actually see him, you know, behind the scenes of what he's really about. And so I think, like, it ain't going to disrupt this season. If Hard Knocks is enough to disrupt this season, y'all, then we ain't got what it takes in the damn place. We might as well just blow all this up and, you know what I'm saying, start working on other things right now, because right now, I feel like it's not going to be a distraction. Mike McCarthy's going to handle it. And that's the most interesting topic I'm ready to see, right? I'm ready to see how this coaching staff is going to move forward in the 2021 season. How is Mike McCarthy handling things? How is Dan Quinn? But who are some of the people you're going to be trying to watch for when it comes to Hard Knocks?
I'm probably gonna fall asleep on Hard Knocks. Like, okay. I really care nothing about, you know what I'm saying, about their close-up angles. Like we're not gonna see anything but just some story, just some in-depth story about some player. They're gonna talk to Quentin Bohanna and see what his life is like. It's not enough, man. Right. It's not enough. Plus, let me just let y'all in a little secret, man. Just a little secret. I played ball a long time ago because I turned 30 next year, so I feel old. Long time ago, I played some ball. If we had cameras or extra eyes or some extra visitors, you kind of go a little harder because you don't want to get embarrassed in front of the people. When we think of the name D'Angelo Hall, we should think, oh, he was a pretty good player for a long time. When we think D'Angelo Hall, we should think, oh, he's the dude on TV breaking down commentation. When we think D'Angelo Hall, for real, we think about what Nuke Hopkins did to him. And he's going to forever live on Hard Knocks for getting his ACL and his Achilles toe up because Nuke Hopkins embarrassed him on Hard Knocks. I fear God, homie. So you mean to tell me you just going to go out there, oh, the camera's on me. Let's half step. Let's go soft. Let's not go hard at practice. That's nonsense.
It's not going to happen, man. So I think Cowboys, but you know how Cowboys fans is, Voch, but we overreact to every little thing going on. It's going to break the season. So, like I said, Cowboys fan, got to chill, man. So how y'all feeling about this in the chat? Let me see what we got going on. Got my guy Mendoza. What's up, Justin? What's up, Dre the Great? Let's see here. Got my guy Professor O in the house. Roberto, what up, Voch? Love how you break down film, bro. I'm with you about Randy being a star this year. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, man. So I think everybody in the chat, for the most part, man, is on board with this Hard Knocks thing. Like I said, I think the Rams was on it last year, right?
Rams and Chargers were last year. That's another thing too. Like we've seen teams go on Hard Knocks and then go on to be good teams. Like the Cowboys are like, so there's this myth that goes around like, oh, there's a curse associated with Hard Knocks. Just because you're on Hard Knocks, you just end up being bad the next season because you're distracted. Nah, they just only put bad teams and teams that didn't make the playoffs on Hard Knocks. So it's hard to not make the playoffs one year and then make it next year. Dak got hurt, so we just happen to be in that category. But if you look at what happened with the Ravens, you look at teams like the Falcons. I mean, the Rams last year was just on it, and they just went to the damn playoffs. The Browns was just on Hard Knocks.
Came out first game and beat us too. You know what I'm saying?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about Hard Knocks, man. We're gonna be fine.
Right? Yeah. Sit back and enjoy this content, like Voch said, because we're gonna be dropping content. You know, every video for HBO, man. So like I said, it's just more to talk about as far as Cowboys fans is concerned. But you gotta relax, man. Just relax. Let's see what's going on. So, Voch, I'm going to ask you a question, man. I want to talk about this coaching staff. So, we moved on from Mike Nolan last year, moved on to Dan Quinn. What is your thoughts about the Dan Quinn hire, and what do you think that Dan Quinn is going to bring to this defense that we didn't see last year?
So, I've said this just a handful of years in a row, man. Like, you know, Rod's job was to be better than Kiffin. You know what I mean? So when Rod was on his way out, Rod was all right. But you know what I mean? Rod ain't take us to super top tier elite. So when we was looking at Chris Richard, it was like, hey, Chris Richard, all you got to do is be better than Rod.
Right.
You couldn't do it. All right, then, Mike Nolan. Chill out. All you got to do Be better than Chris Richard. Go get him, buddy. And he was worse than damn Chris Richard. So we've just been sloping downward ever since Papa Rod left. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm looking at Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn. Fist bump Dan Quinn, my guy. All you got to do is be better than Mike Nolan. And look, don't get me wrong. Chris Richard was bad, but he wasn't like the worst defense I've ever seen in my life bad. Right. And Rod was just kind of average. But boy, we would love to have average now, won't we? We would love to have middle of the road defense right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I think about Dan, like he has this phrase, man, that he said in the Cowboys situation, the .com presser. He was like, I know where my feet are. You know what I mean? Because if you look at, you know, the whole Falcons situation, oh, well, the Falcons, their defense wasn't good. Why should we be excited about Dan Quinn? The Falcons went to a Super Bowl, so chill. Right. But when he's only in charge of D-line, when he's only in charge of defense, we have evidence that he takes, I almost cussed on your show, he can take mess and turn it into something good. You know what I mean? Right. So my whole thing is, I think we're so elite as an offense because us being good defense is going to purely be whatever Dak and them, you know what I'm saying, let us be. So if Dak only scores 14 points a game, boy, we in some deep doo-doo, man. Right. I mean, the defense is going to have to do something a little bit special.
For real, yeah.
But I fully anticipate Dak Prescott because it's all in the numbers. Y'all can go look it up. Google's your friend, bro. I mean, this offense is going to be so special. This offense that I think is better than Kansas City offense in theory, in practice, in application, all three of those ways. I think that they're better. So all we got to do is put up 28 to 35 points like we did last year. And the defense, hang on. Hang on for dear life. Just don't give up 42 when we put up 41. And that should be an easy gift for Dan. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
So do you think how big of that margin do you think that Dan Quinn has to be better than Mike Nolan, though? So do you think that he has to drastically come in, we have to see it, or can it be more of a slow play as far as what we see in Dan Quinn?
This is my thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I feel like fans, they're not going to be patient. Like, they're going to want instant impact when it comes to this defense. And so how do you think that, you know, that's going to turn out? Because from assuming these players we're about to talk about, but do you think that's going to be something they're going to see from the jump, or it's going to be kind of a slow play where we see like mid-season, all right, this defense is starting to come around?
I don't want to sound arrogant, man, but I think me and you can go out there day one and be better than Mike Nolan. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's going to take a long, long time. But if you go back and just watch the games last year, you know, we're not going to be in that same situation. Like, we're just giving up so much every single, like, we just can't stop the run at all. And most of it is because of fits and, you know, guys just getting injured, and we just can't put a full-blown three. Tristan Hill is as three tech as it gets. Why is he playing one tech? Right, so Neville Gallimore has to play. If you look at, and this is my favorite point that I've made in the last month or so, like, we ended up having to go to guys that we didn't want to go to. Right. Like, we don't want to have to play Rashard Robinson, Reggie Robinson. We don't want to have to run Darian Thompson out there, right? So did we get better on defense? Yes, because the guys that were first team last year that actually played for us last year, them cats might not even make the team. Mm-hmm. So last year, where we had to rely on Dorrance Armstrong for a little bit, that was this cat that we got from the Texans. We gave up a 5th round pick or something, but he was only here for some coffee and left. Right. He had to play, and we had to rely on him. Guys like Justin Hamilton, we had to rely on him. Them dudes in the rotation, Quinn Bohanna shows up, Brent Urban shows up. Now them dudes like, oh, I got to fight for this now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to where we're like, all right, Joe Thomas, go get some linebacker reps. You know, we're actually benching good players at linebacker now. Whoever gets benched, somebody gonna have to sit on the bench. You know what I mean? Right. So I just think talent-wise, plus coaching-wise, we ain't got to be fantastic. Just be a little better than the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. And I'm giving the bold prediction that we're gonna finish around 17, 18, and 19.
All right, let's go. So perfect segue. So let's talk about this linebacker core, right? And so we all know we brought in Micah Parsons with the 11th pick. We have Jalen Smith. We have Leighton Vander Esch. Some of these other guys we brought in, Keanu Neal, Jabril Cox. And so what is your take, you know, Voch? How is this going to work out? Do you think that Micah Parsons is going to start off at the Mike linebacker position and this conversation is going to stop at the Sam? Like, what do you think that rotation will look like as far as the rotation with these linebackers? Because it really doesn't fit, because if we're going to be honest, we're going to be playing a nickel position 4-2 for the majority of the time, right? So you're going to have maybe 2 linebackers on the field. I personally don't think Micah Parsons is going to be coming off the field much. And so what do you think that rotation is going to look like?
We're doing content, so I'm going to answer your question, but the real life answers, we have no clue because we don't know what Dan is thinking. You know what I mean? Right. To where if the media people come out and say, hey, Dan, what you want to do with Jabril Cox? Oh, Jabril can go out there and cover some people, boy. He can line up in the middle. Hey, Dan, what you think about Michael Parsons? Oh, Michael, he's gonna be at the mic, boy. He gonna pass rush. He gonna move all over the place. Hey, what do you think about Van Der Esch and Jalen? They play linebacker. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what he's thinking necessarily, but there's always this offseason thing about seniority to where Michael Parsons still got to get in his man body. He hasn't felt National Football League before. He hasn't felt speed. He hasn't been hit by Derrick Henry before, let alone Zeke at practice. You know what I mean? So I don't think he's gonna come off the field a lot. You know what I mean? But it has to be a rotation. It makes no other sense but it to be a rotation. So I think it's going to be Van Der Esch at will, like he's supposed to be. I think Mike is going to get a lot of Mike linebacker reps, but I think Jalen's going to be getting the most reps at Mike because he's been there before. Should he stay there? I don't know, but I got a nuanced take on that. But, Mike is a guy that's going to play some Sam. And then when we switch to nickel, he can play some Mike. Or if we go into some 3-4 scheme, he can be the designated pass rush guy. We're going to learn a lot in the next couple of weeks at, California Oxnard or whatever. So we just don't know right now. But my whole thing is, this is what we really want. Regardless of what Cowboy fans tell you, once upon a time, Jalen Smith was good. In 2018, we wasn't worried about linebacker because Jalen and Van Der Esch had us like, oh, what we ain't worried about linebacker.
Doing swiping, doing all sorts of stuff.
All kind of little nonsense. Boy, so in my mind, if we simply get better at D-line and we simply get better at, if Dan Quinn is better than his previous coaches or whatever, if we just go back to 2018, it's going to be hard for Michael Parsons to get on the field, but I think that's a good problem to have. You know what I mean? So in a perfect world, you want your old heads to play and let Michael just get in where he fits in, and then he takes over next year.
Would you think that devalues the pick of taking him at 11 though, if he's kind of a slow play?
Nope, because in my mind, if your first round pick is playing immediately, then you just bad at that spot. I want to have a first round pick in Michael Parsons to come in, compete with the guy that's here and realize, damn, we too good at linebacker. We can't even play. Because if Michael Parsons don't play, it's not a problem. You just got a good ass Jalen, or you have Jalen playing good, or you have Van Der Esch playing good. So it's not a problem. Draft is a 5-year conversation. So one thing that we can't do is just be like, oh, if they don't play this year, they a bust. I think that's nonsense. Like, let guys figure this thing out. Let Michael Parsons. Derrick Henry hit hard when he run into you. Like, let him know what that feels like first, and then we'll figure it out. So, nah. There's no devaluing the first round pick. Absolutely not.
Okay. Let me ask you about a player, because this is one of my favorite players coming out of Texas A&M, and Anthony Hines, another linebacker. What do you know about Anthony Hines? Or we can tell the viewers about Anthony Hines.
Anthony Hines. I didn't like him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Tell me why.
I didn't see the instincts translated, and that's the problem with Texas Tech and all of Texas Tech things or whatever. Is it's different when you see somebody in that situation than you see somebody elsewhere, or you take guys out and just plug them here. Perfect example, we talking about Texas Tech, right? Terrence Steele, they threw the ball a bunch in Texas Tech. Terrence Steele kind of held up with those little quick packages or whatever. You get to the league, you got to hold the ball for a little bit longer. So you look at Hines, the same kind of situation, man. But we need players though. So you want to do some kicking game stuff, some special team stuff. I mean, there's always a place for somebody, but I just don't see it here, not in Dallas in particular.
Okay. Yeah, because when I watched him, I like his explosiveness and he has athleticism. So I feel like he can add. Now I think the conversation comes down between him and probably Francis Bernard, you know what I'm saying, for one of those rotational guys. And so if you had to give the nod, would you give it to Hines or Francis Bernard?
I always want to go to the guy that's been here a little longer. You know what I'm saying? So, but then we ain't seen. So look, so let's just kind of segue this a little bit. Preseason is super important this year.
Right.
So, because, I was on the Twitter machine. It was like, but Vonj, you say that every single year about preseason. But this year, but this year is different because we didn't have preseason last year. Right. So what we're looking for in preseason this year is you're looking for this draft class. You're looking at last year's draft because we don't know what Bradley and I can do. We don't know what Reggie Robinson can do. Right. But then you got the year 2 guys from the year before. So what does Tristan look like in his man body? What does Donovan Wilson look like once he gets a full-time role or whatever? Can Tony get some snaps? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the last 3 draft classes are very, very important in this in this next 5 weeks or so. And you know what I mean? Thank God we got the Hall of Fame game against Pittsburgh, because we get an extra week and an extra game to figure that out.
Yeah, because I feel like last year, that's where a lot of these rookies really missed out, because we never really got to see Reggie Robinson. We kind of heard some things, from here and there, from tweets and different things like that, but we never got to see visually for ourselves. And also when it comes to Bradley Anae, we heard great things about him coming out of camp, but that was a huge question mark. Cowboys fans are asking, where's Bradley Anae? Where's Bradley Anae? Where's Bradley Anae? Well, I think this year we can actually sit back, see in preseason, that Hall of Fame game, as you mentioned, Oxnard, when we're all at camp, they're going to say, all right, does he really have it? Or were we kind of just, optimistic last year about from what we heard via from the draft? So I think that's two players that a lot of people are going to look at. So let's talk about the cornerbacks here specifically. Now, we all know that Trayvon Diggs, he's our CB1. I think we all can agree on that. The cornerback 2 position, that's been the huge question mark. I know your guy that we took at 44, you've been extremely high on this guy. So do you think that Kelvin Joseph actually going to be the outside corner? Or are we going to be starting with Anthony Brown? And once again, Kelvin Joseph is going to be more of a slow play.
Now, we know you didn't want Kelvin, so I know you was you was a bit down on him for a little bit.
It's a love-hate relationship still to this day, man. We working on it, though. We working.
But prior to him being a Cowboy, so this ain't homerism or whatnot, I really legitimately had Kelvin Joseph as my second best corner, 15th overall player. Just as a athletic talent. You know what I mean? And don't get me mistaken, man. Some Cowboy fans out here thinking that Diggs is slow. Like, nah, man, DK Metcalf just ran past him one time. But, hey, that happens when you're running with DK. He runs past people. Right. But besides that, man, like, Kelvin is the athlete that you want to move all over the field. Like, Diggs isn't a guy that's going to travel necessarily. If you need Kelvin Joseph to travel, I think he can travel. Now, this year, I think Diggs is going to be the better player because he's been here. I stay faithful to that. I'm always faithful to the guys that are already here, that have had the offseason, that got that man body peanut butter, you know what I'm saying, that just make them big in the offseason. But I think Kelvin in year 2, 3, and 4, I really think that's when we're going to get the big returns on the investment. Now, what's interesting is that we're getting word in camps or whatnot, and we really going to see this the next couple of weeks or whatever. Nahshon Wright. So if Nahshon Wright is a guy that Dan Quinn knows exactly how to use him, and he may not be good with this team, but Nahshon just fits this conversation perfectly. Right. You know what I mean? And if he can take that 6'4" long body and line up on the outside, and Kelvin Joseph can play some nickel for you, so you ain't got to worry about this Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis problem. I think we might be sitting pretty because what Mike said, and I just don't want to be feeding into what Mike says, because I think Mike on coke and he just don't have a good idea for player evaluation. But he says that we're going to be multiple on defense, that we're going to change looks every week according to whoever it is that we line up against. So in my mind, if we line up against some big people, then we can have a big set. If we're lining up against some quicker guys, we can have a quick set. For example, like we got Tampa Bay week 1 that we're going to line up and smoke the hell out of them. You may not want Nahshon running with Mike Evans because Mike Evans is big and can run. That may be, that may be the assignment for Kelvin Joseph. If we're against like Carolina or something, they got smaller, shiftier guys. That may be the game where you want to have more Anthony Brown on the outside, Kelvin Joseph moving around a little bit. So I think it's just going to depend on the opponent.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that currently as things stand, we have enough with our secondary?
Hell yeah, because this thing strongly depends on Dak Prescott, right? So if you asking me, so we're going to run out there with the Jaguars offense, do we have an elite defense? I'm going to be like, absolutely not. Don't ask me questions like that. Don't disrespect me like that. But do we have a defense that's good enough to lean with a top tier offense? Absolutely. Because if you think about the teams that went to the Super Bowl last year, I mean, them dudes ain't elite, man. Like I'm draft guy, so I remember watching Sean Bunting from Central Michigan. I remember watching him and thinking, okay, cool, he cool, right? But he ain't like Revis or nothing. You ain't gotta have Darrell Revis to win a Super Bowl or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Right. Carlton Davis is the other guy. Then you go to the Chiefs. They got Ward, whatever his first name is, that we let go. Chavarius, whatever, Ward, that couldn't make the team with us. Right. But he's a Super Bowl cornerback now. You know what I mean? As long as your pass rush is intact, and we can segue right into that, as long as your pass rush is intact, I think as long as you got guys that can run and not give up big plays and a solid scheme, I think you'll be all right at corner.
Okay, so that's why I brought you on, man. Because Voch talks us off the ledge, man. Because I feel like for me personally, this secondary, man, I've been kind of skeptical about it because I feel like we still need a veteran to bring in-house to come in, help with the secondary because I just don't trust Anthony Brown being the outside corner. I'm still not trusting your guy and Kelvin Joseph as of yet until I see it put together. And so I just feel like when it comes to outside of Trayvon Diggs, there's a lot of question marks when it comes to who is going to step in and be that guy. And like I said, we got a lot of killers out the gate.
But see, that's my problem though. Even if we go get Richard Sherman, I don't want Richard Sherman running around with some fast running wide receiver. You know what I mean? I would rather the Kelvin Joseph matchup with like Chris Godwin or something week 1. I would rather Kelvin Joseph run around with him than Richard Sherman because I've seen Richard Sherman try to run around with these little bitty fast dudes. And it ain't good for him. Richard Sherman can only do one thing, in my opinion. He can only play deep thirds. That's what he's good at. Right. But he's an old man now. You know what I mean? I would rather have the diversity. Plus, if we're going to be a more aggressive team, a more physical team, we're going to be blitzing a little bit more, playing man on the outside. I don't want Richard Sherman playing man like that.
True. That's facts. Let me ask you this, because the conversation's been floating around about moving Kelvin Joseph to safety. Mm-hmm. Do you think that he could play safety?
Nah.
Why not?
Because if he was to play safety, he would have played safety in college.
But he was recruited as a safety.
Sure.
He was brought in. They anticipated him to play safety in college. They kind of missed out on a few recruits. Sure. Right? And then they moved him down as the cornerback. Mm-hmm. So but I think the instincts would still be there if he was to be moved back to safety. Because here's my theory. I don't think that Anthony Brown's going to lose his job. I just don't. Right? I don't think Jordan Lewis is going to lose his job. You're going to have Trayvon Diggs. So if you want the best of the best on the field, I feel like his opportunity might be if he moves back and competes with DeMonte KZ at the free safety slot.
So I never want to ask somebody to do in the league what they did in high school and didn't do in college. That don't make sense to me.
But he only what 14 games as corner? 14.
And it was a damn good 14 games at corner. Just in my mind, because watch this though, Tuck. This is another thing that just get me with Cowboy fan. I don't think we need safety that bad. You only need safety when you don't have safety, and the Cowboys just haven't had safety. So it just makes us feel like, we just need anybody to just line up and play some daggone safety. Right. I would rather have the good corners. You know what I mean? I would rather have the guys that can line up, shut down wide receivers than whatever safety I have looks good because our corners and pass rush looks good. I don't want to take a talent in Kelvin. What you do with safety is that you take guys out of the action. You know what I mean? Right. So I got Kelvin Joseph, a guy that I think can cover really well. We just going to play him deep, and he's only going to get tested 4 times a game. I hate that. You know what I mean? Right. When I think Kelvin Joseph is a guy that can man cover his ass off, I think he's a dude that needs to be in the mix every single play. You need to be chasing down these top tier athlete receivers every single play. So that's just my reason. I just don't want to take guys away from something that I feel is more important. There's a reason why top 10 corners or just top tier corners, there's a reason why they get drafted early. You know what I mean? Because they're just more valuable. They just get a lot more action. Like safeties get 5 plays a game or something, right? Maybe if that. So in my mind, let's just go get Jeff Heath or something if it's that bad. let him and KZ fight it out and just let Boss Man Fat live in corner. In my mind, that's what I want.
Because someone just asked in the chat, so you dependent on KZ at the safety position, so you're okay with having KZ back there at safety as it currently right now?
Sure. Why not?
Even coming off the injury?
Sure. Why not? Is he healthy? I mean, if he healthy, let's run him. You know what I'm saying? Because to be fair, watch this. There's a reason why you try to move There's a reason why you want to move Kelvin Joseph to safety, because there ain't no damn safeties out there. Right. Like if you didn't have KZ, where's your safety market? You want to go get Malik Hooker, who's hurt too. Right. You know what I mean? So use what you got and try to make the pieces around it better. So if KZ had a year where he had a gang of interceptions, well, what was so good about that season? It was some pass rush and it was some offense. So the offense put pressure on the other team to throw the ball. All right, cool. The Cowboys are going to have some big offense. We're going to put pressure on other teams to throw the ball. Randy Gregory and D-Law is going to get some pressure up front. We're going to be straight.
Well, let's get into it, man. let's get into the defensive line. So I want to talk about specifically the interior position. So, we did bring in, as you mentioned, we had Brent Urban come in. We got Bohanna. So what is this going to mean for Tristan Hill at the 3-tech position? Because I know a lot of people are having a conversation that he could be possibly on the out when it comes to making the roster. Do you think that Tristan Hill is going to make the roster? Because I haven't heard. Is he going to be available for camp or no?
No clue, but we'll see. My whole thing about Tristan, I'm a big fan of Tristan. I'm on record being a fan of Tristan, but I'm not above improvements. So if Neville and Osa come in and they're better than him, then just fine. It is what it is. Like whoever the third guy is, just got to suffer the consequences of being third guy. But my problem is when people want to cut Tristan, because in my mind, cutting Tristan doesn't help you. It's not going to save money or anything like that. So my thing is, you need as many bodies to win a Super Bowl as you possibly can. Okay. You know what I mean? So you may not like Tristan Hill, but you like him a lot more than cat that we gave a 5th round pick from the Texans. That cat or whatever.
What is his name, y'all? Because I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name.
Infana, Mbada, Mbudu.
Yeah, it was something.
Melanfonwu, whatever his name is. Whatever his name is, you were in this situation where you had to rely on that dude. Mm-hmm. And that sucks. That sucks. You know what I mean? Like Chauncey Golston not going to start, but you need guys like you just need guys. Right. Plus, it is a 17-game season now. People gonna get hurt, and you don't want to be in a situation where you're running some
Eli Anku.
What Eli? That fella, right. That guy, that young man played many snaps last year. Right. You know what I mean? So just because we got Bohanna and just because we got Brent Urban, don't mean that we push Justin Hamilton off a bridge. Now you need everybody you can get to win these bowls, man. You know what I'm saying? There's this other narrative. Well, Voch, what do we do with Noah Brown now? You hold on to him because if anything happened to these cats, you get them. You know what I mean? Right. So if you're not making money or just saving money, getting rid of guys, just hold on to them because you might need them.
Right. Like my guy Nick said, just bodies on bodies, man, adding more wood to the fire. So Quentin Bohanna, he's one of the favorite picks a lot of people are talking about. What is your thoughts on Bohanna actually having some impact this year? Do you think that he's going to be at that 1-tech position, or will he kind of be a slow player that's going to be later down the road in later years where we'll see the impact of Bohanna, or do you think it's going to be instantaneously?
Well, he's a 6th-round pick for a reason, but 1-techs and noses are 6th-round picks for a reason. Like they're all day 3 guys for a reason because we just don't ask much of them. Right. So Quentin Bohanna's job isn't to go out and get 30 tackles and 3 sacks and nothing like that. His job is to be a role player because in my mind we got stars. Mm-hmm. We just need guys to make those stars be great. You know what I mean? Right. So D-Law, Randy, the linebackers could be stars. Diggs could be a star, but we need a 1-tech to make sure D-Law is not getting double teamed out here. You know what I mean? So we just need guys to plug up gaps. Bohanna's job as a role player, he's probably going to get 15, 20 snaps or something like that. And his job is to just let Jalen and Van Der Esch and Micah Parsons run free. So in a perfect world, you really don't even want Bohanna playing that much, because if Bohanna is playing 40, 50 snaps a game, that means the other team is running the football and you can't stop them. Right. What you want is for Bohanna, Brent Urban to get 15 snaps, stop the run. They got to pass the ball because Dak and them putting up points, right. And then you just want pass rushers to go play. You know what I mean? So if Bohanna can get 15 snaps a game, and all he got to do in the 15 snaps is be 350 pounds, we good. Right, be a big. That's all we have.
Fat and nasty, as I call him, man. So yeah, like I said, I feel like this defense is going to move forward. You know what I'm saying? As far as the run defense is concerned, my guy Rome, Cowboys fan talk, salute to him. He's dropped the video about the improvements that Dan Quinn always does. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Especially with the run defense. So you get the run defense, and I dropped the video the other day. Turnovers, you know what I'm saying? When the turnover margin is going to be critical. Maybe we had Zeke rumbling, fumbling, stumbling last year. So if we can clean some of those things up, maintain the offense as is, not get gashed up the run, you know what I'm saying, just be salvageable, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys will be right back in the thick of things. And now I'm back, Voch. Like I said, that's how I feel, man. I feel like our offense, like you said, bro, we can compare with any team in the NFL. And I think that's the thing that kind of, calmed me down. Right? It's like, all right, we got Dak back, we got Zeke, we got our offensive line back. You know what I'm saying? Everything is looking good. CeeDee Lamb's looking strong. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is starting to look good from that standpoint from offense, so I can breathe a little bit. It's just Dan Quinn tweaking things when it comes defensively to show some improvement. I think we'll be right in the thick of things. So I want to go over to the offense because the question's been asked, right, with this whole Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin thing. Do you think that there's a possibility that Dalton Schultz could be the tight end 1 over Blake Jarwin after what we saw last year, or do you think the spot is going to be Blake Jarwin's, out the gate, and pretty much Dalton Schultz will be tight end 2?
It's going to be Blake's job because offense for tight ends is just a lot more vertical and pass catching nowadays. But I think Dalton has proved that he can get playtime and not just be horrible. You know what I mean? So we can trust Dalton Schultz, but what you want is for Blake Jarwin to get most of them, most of them catches, most of them play. Because look, to be fair, man, we always see Jarwin in spurts, and this is the one thing Cowboy fans are right. I hate Cowboy fans a bunch, and I am a Cowboy fan, so I hate y'all with love. Right. But the one thing that y'all are constantly right about is that Jason Witten hold a lot of people back. You know what I mean? The fact that Jason existing makes it hard for other guys to come up. And I just truly believe that whenever Jason came on the field and Blake Jarwin came on, damn, Blake Jarwin looked good running down the seams. Boy, he running faster than everybody. Boy, we get yanked. Boy, we got 3 touchdowns by himself versus the Giants. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think when Blake finally gets his time to like shine for real, I think it's going to be another problem for the league, man, because that's just one dude that they're just not ready to cover. He's just a mismatch problem. He's a big receiver, basically. And you just put that dude with Coop, with Lamb, with Gallup, with Zeke. I mean, good luck to you.
Right. Yeah, so I think, as I said, Blake Jarwin's worst thing is that he's staying healthy, you know what I'm saying? But he actually got outshined by Jason Witten in politics and different things like that. So last year going into the season, I know a lot of fans, self included, I was very high on Blake Jarwin. I was, Jarwin season, all that until the actual injury. But Dalton Schultz was serviceable. But you guys all know who I wanted in the draft because I was going to take a whole different tight end, you know what I'm saying, go that route. But it is what it is. So
who you wanted? Who?
It was Pitts, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, man. I'm excited about Parsons. I would love to have Rashawn Slater. I was a big J.C. Horn fan. Right. I will push all 3 of those gentlemen off a bridge to get some damn Kyle Pitts in Dallas.
I just spazzed on some Falcons fans early on Twitter because they were talking about, Bowell, I guess he quoted something about taking Justin Fields. Like, bro, y'all broke the entire draft, man. When they passed on Fields, like everything just went crazy as far as the draft. And it was just downhill from there. And I expected at least to get one of the corners. We didn't get one of the corners. Draft was kind of, but let me ask you this question, like, because you do a lot of draft coverage. Do you feel like knowing too much when it comes to the draft is a gift and the curse? Because you can't just be excited about, because you have players like, Osa Dickazoo, I really don't know, Chauncey Golston, I'm sure he's good, you know what I'm saying, but you actually study, you know too much. Do you feel like that sometimes makes things worse as far as, you know what I'm saying, the draft is concerned?
I think studying is what makes the draft great. You know what I'm saying? It's all about stories. It's all about just knowing guys, right? For example, Jared Peterson. Do you know who he is? Jared Peterson?
No.
Okay, so have you heard about the running back from Buffalo? He ran for like 9 touchdowns or something, like 800 yards, and his coach pulled him last minute or whatever? That was a big story that was going on, right? He broke all the records or whatever. Okay. So when he gets drafted in the 5th round, you go, who is Jared Peterson? Then they go, from Buffalo, he had 900 yards and he broke all the records in that one game and the coach pulled him out. You go, oh, that kid. The more times you go, oh, that kid, that makes your draft experience, you know what I'm saying, better or whatever.
Right.
The problem is with drafting and me being my own GM is that even when I get into the 5th round, if we don't take the player I want, I'm going to make a sad face about it. You know what I mean? Right. So Simi Fehoko is a good player. Mm-hmm. If I want Marvin Wilson, there's not a good face I'm going to make for Simi Fehoko. Right, you know what I mean? And through the whole entire draft, I'm just sitting back like, hey, man, Osa cool, but Marvin right there, and I'll be mad if somebody take him. You know what I mean? Right. So that's the downside. So it's no such thing, in my personal opinion, it's no such thing as I know too many players in the draft, because the more the better, you know? Mm-hmm. But the problem is you actually hate on your own guys when you waiting for your team to take Darius Washington and Marvin Wilson or whatever.
Or Asante Samuel Jr. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, son. But on that same token, when we take Boss Man Fat, I humped the chair. You know what I mean? My damn chair got pregnant because we took Boss Man Fat because he was one of my favorite players pre-draft, and when we finally get him, or the whole CeeDee Lamb thing last year.
Right.
So when it pays off, it pays off.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb last year, same reaction. Kelvin Joseph, yeah, it's different. But I was going to ask you that because, like I said, man, I felt like, sometimes we dive as content creators, we dive so heavily in, we kind of know what's out there because, granted, we kind of hinted about Nashawn, right? But it was kind of sitting there like, all right, there was some other things available, so you start to kind of look at the draft class a little bit different. But once we kind of heard Dan Quinn speak, what he's actually trying to put together, things start to kind of fall in place, and now we got to kind of trust the process. So you mentioned Simi Fehoko. Let's talk about that fourth wide receiver slot. Do you think that that's going to be an opportunity for Simi, or do you think it's going to be more of Ced Wilson? You mentioned Noah Brown earlier. When we got some of the undrafted guys, whether it's TJ Vasher. So, what do you think is really going to turn out when it comes to that wide receiver 4 spot?
This is where team building gets weird.
Keep hating on Bossman. Me and Bossman, bro, we've had conversations. If you watch the video, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've talked offline. You know what I'm saying? It's a love-hate relationship. But here's the thing. Here's what I want to say about Bossman, right? I had him mocked high in my draft, right, on my board.
There's no way you had him mocked high in your draft, because every time you talk about Boss Man Fat, you go,
but I had him at 44 on my board. But on draft day 2, everyone's like, on the draft show, right, Tuck, we gonna get Samuel, bro. I'm like, nah, he's not gonna be there. Nah, Tuck, we gonna get Samuel. So the chat just kept rolling, and they built me up, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was like, bro, he's there. Is this really gonna happen? Is this gonna be my redemption for passing on Jalen Ramsey and Derwin Jackson? Is this gonna be my moment? And it wasn't. So they built.
It was mine. It was my mine.
Yeah, it was your turn. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting seeing you and Jeff, all Boss Man Fat, and playing rap. I'm just like, bruh. It was a wrap since then. So the chat it was their fault, right? They built me up because I was like, we're not gonna draft him. But as things started to, you know what I'm saying, I thought we were gonna take Trayvon Moore, to be honest with you. But then we saw the Raiders jump us and take a safety, and so then the pick was Kelvin Joseph, and so I was kind of sitting back like, all right, it is what it is, but Boss Man, it is what it is. Like I said, I feel like Boss Man is the most important rookie out of this year's class because I want a new cornerback too, because I don't trust what we currently have in place. So I want either him or Nashawn Wright to turn out and prove me wrong, you know what I'm saying, and step forward. But as of right now, it's looking kind of shaky. So we'll see.
You just can't keep hating all your life, man. Anyway, Simi, right? So this is where team building gets weird, because money gets involved, practice squad gets involved. And you can't just put people on practice squad because another team will take them if they're on practice squad. You know what I mean? So you may get a situation where Noah Brown is a better wide receiver than Simi because, he just does more. He's been here before. He's experienced. But because Simi got the cheaper price tag, since you can't put Simi on practice squad, Simi might take Noah's spot. You know what I mean? So that's where I don't want to call it politics, but that's just where team, like the team building puzzle or whatnot. That's just where that comes into play. I think Cedric is safe because I just think Cedric does a lot more than Noah. If Noah was a return guy or whatever, this would be a different conversation. Bones like to do a lot of trick plays, and Ced can throw the football. Noah can't throw the football. So I just foresee this being a situation where I don't see Noah getting another paycheck or nothing like that. And if Simi is cheap for the next 3-4 years or whatever, so I just see Simi being the guy. Ced ain't going nowhere. Damn sure them top 3 cats ain't going nowhere. Right. So Simi might be a guy that makes the team, but not makes the game day roster. And whenever we move on, I don't know if Gallup want to take that good little discount or whatever, but if we can't keep Gallup, then Simi's going to be, the guy that fits in right there. Luckily for the wide receiver spot is Cowboys know how to take some undrafted people, take some 5th round, 4th round guys and just plug them in there. We've had great day 3 and later guys or whatever plug in that receiver as long as we got number 1 option. So I think we good there.
Right. So someone just asked, I think my guy Nick's asked, are the rules the same? Can you protect your practice squad someone again this year like you could with the COVID rules? And I think someone commented you can protect 3 guys, I think. So I don't know. I don't know if you can protect. I know that they gave some more spots. So like back then it was 6 spots or whatever. Now it's 9. Right. But I don't know if you can keep
keep a player from getting taken. So just don't quote me on that because I ain't educated on it or whatever. But if that is a new rule, then Sammy would be a perfect player to put on practice squad and to not be touched.
Right.
TJ Vasher may not make the team, but that just is what that is.
Right. Cool. Let's dive, man. Keep the questions coming, man, for me and Voch, man. Y'all know where to find Voch. Go ahead and shout out your channel, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, Voch, if they don't know.
VOCHLOMBARDI. I'm about to type what's up in the chat. There it is. You can just click the link and go on to my channel, and it's the same name on the Twitter machine. I got 10,000 followers now. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. And I've noticed that my Twitter following and my YouTube following ain't the same thing. My YouTube people follow me for the content, but Twitter people follow me just to see me talk shit to people that's hating on my team. So it's good to have two different groups of content watchers in there.
Yeah, man. I remember the other day, man, you carved up one of my guys. Shout out to Philly TP Joe, man. He was talking about something. I forgot what Joe was talking about, man. And Voch came at him and just chopped him up. He's talking something about the offensive line and why, you know what I'm saying? Those Eagles fans, man, they always in our mix. Yeah, they always in our mix about something. Like they always just, you know what I'm saying, worry about what the hell we got going on.
Because they nervous.
Because they
nervous. They know their time running out. They know they got a short leash. They know that all this time to talk crazy about the Cowboys, they know that it's running on short time. They know that the Cowboys being 6-10, the Cowboys being terrible, the Andy Dalton Cowboys, they know they got a couple more months to enjoy it because when folk get back, it's ball game. So of course they nervous.
Right.
Let them fly.
They mad nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's why they getting their frustration now. So they jumped out the window and saying something. And Voch chimed in on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, you ran your mouth, and now you got yourself in something you can't get out of, and it is what it is, man. But shouts out to my guy Philly Joe, man. He does great content as well, man. And they don't want to run that 7-on-7. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna be there for that Eagles Cowboys game. They talking about, we can call it the content creators for the Cowboys, and we can play 7-on-7. I was like, y'all don't want that smoke, man. Because you play offensive line, right? You play
100%.
Offensive line. You know what I'm saying? I play linebacker, you know what I'm saying? My guy, you know what I'm saying? Nick's played defensive line. So we got some talent in these Cowboys content creators. We need a quarterback, though. I might can throw quarterback, though. But
they don't want to do that.
They don't want that smoke. They don't want that smoke, man. So keep the questions coming. We're going to stay on for like 10 more minutes, man. I don't want to keep Voch too long, man. Busy fella here. Let's see here. Let's see. Whoever is CB2 needs to hold their own. This will help Diggs out as well. He can just lock in on this guy. So I had a question today, Voch, on Twitter, right?
Okay.
Do you think that in order to be called an elite cornerback, you have to have high interceptions?
No.
Okay.
Because I think people fell into that same problem with Byron Jones. Byron didn't catch a lot of interceptions, but they just didn't throw it to him. You can't catch interceptions because look, think about Revis, right? When Revis first was Revis, he had a lot of interceptions, but after that, they didn't throw to Revis. It was called Revis Island for a reason. So Revis didn't have the big interception numbers. Guys like Xavier and Howard, they get the big interception numbers because people trying them. Right. You know what I mean? So you don't have to be like, you don't have to get the interceptions to be a top tier corner. Just lock down your guy and let your other. If the other player doesn't score, like that's the numbers you look for. Like I don't know the actual PFF number or whatever, but the completion per target ratio, that little goofy number or whatever. Right. As long as that number looks good, then that's how good you are as a corner.
Got you. That's right.
But look, thing about Diggs though, I think we're gonna be fine with Diggs. I think people really got Diggs messed up. Like Diggs did nothing but line up against like DK Metcalf, Nuke Hopkins, Julio Jones, like the best of the best guys, and he hung in there.
Last year.
He caught 4 interceptions and dropped 6 of them. Right. You know what I mean? So I think once he gets his legs up on him, he'll be all right.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, right? Because this is my guy Nick's, right? When you think about this Dallas Cowboys offense, who currently is the number 1 wide receiver?
Number 1 wide receiver, like who's the best wide receiver?
Yeah.
Cooper. Straight up and down.
So you think that Amari Cooper is going to have more yards than CeeDee Lamb next year?
I ain't say that, but I think CeeDee is going to have yardage because of, like design. He may get opportunities. He may get, like more looks or whatnot, but Cooper is the number 1 guy, and Cooper is the engine of this thing. Like Lamb is going to get a lot of the looks he gets because of who Cooper is. And boy, people got Coop all the way messed up, but Coop did nothing but line up against number 1 cornerbacks with Andy Dalton Ben DiNucci, Gary Gilbert, and he got like what 1,200 receiving yards, something like that. Week 1 lineup against Rams and got like 8 catches on him, like smoked Jalen Ramsey week 1. Right. So when we see CeeDee Lamb get these wide open looks up the seam, he gets these mismatches on what's the kid name with the Eagles? Jaquette. You know what I'm saying? Because Darius Slay is on Cooper, some civilian is on Gallup, and the scrub is on Lamb, then fine. Let Lamb take advantage of the scrub. They're going to make an adjustment, and they're going to put the scrub on Gallup. We'll throw it deep at Gallup. You know what I mean? But that's all because Coop is who Coop is.
So you think that's going to maintain, though? Do you think that going through the season that Cooper will remain the number one option that the defense will focus on? You don't think that's going to shift towards CeeDee Lamb?
The hell else they gonna do? because look, even if they decide to, because watch this,
right? I mean, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it.
Because if you put Slay on Lamb, then you got to scrub on Cooper, which is worse, which is scarier. Good luck to you. You know what I mean? Like this can be stopped. This isn't some impossible lineup, but you got to have the corners to do it, and most teams ain't got the corners to do it. So good luck to you.
Yeah. So, Nick, to answer your question, Voch is actually with me because he says that Lamb is going to have more yards than Amari Cooper next year.
So, when y'all was fighting about it, because it was a lot of people fighting about it, I think the word that was used was impact guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, Cooper is the bigger impact guy because if Lamb goes out, knocking on wood because I'm superstitious, if Lamb goes out, Simi can play slot for you. Cedric can play slot for you. They won't be good as Lamb, but they can play for you. Mm-hmm. If Cooper goes out, you in some deep shit because you ain't really seen CD play outside receiver before. You haven't seen CD be the number one guy yet. You got to move some things around. Like, we can think that Gallup is the number one guy, but when we played against the Jets, Cooper was out and Gallup had his opportunity.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Gallup proved how much of a number 2 option he was. You know what I mean? So Cooper's the guy. Cooper stirs a drink.
Agree to disagree.
But I love Lamb though. Lamb's incredible. Lamb, and look, this is what y'all do. Y'all are imagining Lamb's full potential right now. I don't think Lamb is there yet. Right. I think Lamb is incredible for a rookie. And I think Lamb is as good as he's good. Like, Lamb is going to get like 1,400 yards because he's a product of this offense. If Lamb was in Jacksonville, he's not the same guy.
Right.
If Coop was in Jacksonville, he'd be smoking shit in Jacksonville. And I know this because Coop came to Dallas, where Dallas was horrible at receiver. We couldn't do nothing on offense. Dallas was Jacksonville. Then Coop get to Dallas and we look brand new. So Coop is definitely the guy. In my personal opinion, we can fully disagree. But you play FIFA and you think boxing better than MMA, so it's cool.
I'm telling you, bro. Boxing is better than MMA. Well, that's not even no debate, bro. Like, have you been to like a heavyweight bout? You know what I'm saying? In Vegas, boxing match, like. Bro, like,
I'm not rich like you. I've been broke my whole life, so I ain't never did nothing like that.
I'm telling you, it's different, man. Boxing is different from MMA. Like I said, the FIFA thing is kind of new, bro. But I'm kind of digging soccer, man.
I'll go one day. I'll get it right one day, but I have not been. But it's in the plans, though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like, the whole energy is different, man. Like, Vegas, fight night, boxing. It's a bit Mayweather when he was out there, like, bro, it's just different, man. UFC can't compete with that. But I'm gonna start watching some UFC. I'm gonna try.
Please.
He said, my guy Nick said me and Voch just became best friends. Yeah, because y'all both gonna owe me some wings here in a little bit. That's why. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, chicken, man. I don't gamble, doc.
I'm gonna owe me some wings, man. Nick's gonna owe me some wings. He gonna run me back because he got lucky last year. Because I said that CeeDee Lamb was gonna have more yards. He actually moved the goalpost back on me a little bit, but I said that CeeDee Lamb was gonna have more yards than Amari Cooper last year.
Well, see, CeeDee might have more yards because of opportunities and wide open looks and mismatches. So he might. But when I was talking to Boss Cowboy and I was fighting with, Lon James and all them, the word they used was who's the most impactful.
Right.
And that's Amari Cooper player. That's Amari Cooper straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's gonna double the nickel guy, but they'll double the outside dude. But it is
right. It is. But let's one more spot on offense, right? So the running back position. So what is your thoughts on Ezekiel Elliott? Do you think he's going to have this bounce back season? A lot of people's kind of seeing he's looking leaner. You're hearing great things coming back from the coaching staff about he's more locked in. Do you think this is going to be a bounce back season for Zeke? And then the second question is, how do you think he's going to be utilized with all of these weapons that we've spoken about as far as the wide receiver core?
There's this quote I've been saying, and it hasn't really come true yet because Dak got hurt last year, but Zeke is going to be the best auxiliary player in the National Football League, because this is Dak Prescott's team.
Right.
And it's crazy, man, how Zeke can be nothing but the league lead rusher every year, but the 1 year where he loses quarterback, LT1, LT2,
right.
RT1, RG1, and center 1, the years he lose those guys, and he was still like top 10, he was still like ninth or something like that.
Right.
All of a sudden, Zeke is bad now. It's kind of weird to me. We're going to be in a situation where we're going to control the offense straight up and down. And turnovers was a problem last year, but we had superpowers where we just didn't know we had that we kind of cleaned up later on in the year. We just didn't have games. We just turned the ball over 5 times towards the end of the year. I just think we had to clean that up. It's just that Dak got hurt prior to it all coming together or whatever. But I think as long as we safe with the football, ain't no stopping us, man. Ain't no stopping us, bro. Like, I actually did some research because I got this video coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Terrence Steele gave up 9 sacks last year, and that ain't even naming hurries. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just 9 sacks from damn Terrence Steele. Where's Brandon Knight? 5 from Brandon Knight. 7 from Connor McGovern. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
If we clean those things up, we'll automatically be better. And how do we clean those things up? Just let La'el Collins play. And let Tyron Smith play, and a lot of these things won't happen. Like some of those Dak fumbles, some of those Dak interceptions, it came from, oh snap, I'm running for my life because my right side is collapsing.
Right,
or I'm trying to make a play, or I'm trying to come from behind because my defense is horrible. Oh, I threw an interception at the end of the Cleveland game because I do not want Cleveland's offense to get back on the field because we've had no evidence of proving that. Dak just had to push way harder than he had to. I think we're going to find this perfect balance of being destructive, ball control, and that don't just mean run the ball and kill clock, because you can play ball control and move fast at the same time. Right. I just think we just gonna find this balance. We're gonna find this dance. Ever since Dak and Kellen Moore been together, they've been the number 1 offense in the league. Every single time. Look it up. Google's your friend, bro.
Right.
So Kellen Moore been whooping people as a rookie and a sophomore, you know what I mean? Right. So you got year 3 Kellen Moore in there. You know what I'm saying? The defense is getting better. Everything around you is getting better. Blake Jarwin's coming back. You got year 2 CeeDee Lamb. Tyler Biadasz is going to be starting the whole way. We ain't got that Joe Looney problem. I don't see any situation where we regress. You know what I mean? Like we've gone from level 1, from 1 star to 4 stars overnight.
Right.
Now all we got to do is get in mid-season form in this ball game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And exactly. I think that was, and I think from a lot of this perspective from a lot of Cowboys fans, and just outside of Cowboys fans, right? They don't understand. We just were hurt last year. I mean, as simple as it was, we wasn't a bad team. And like I said, to really find who we are, go back to that Rams game, opening night when we play against the Rams. Like, I feel like we're more that team who we really should have won that game. You know, we had the offensive pass interference or whatnot, but we're more leaning towards that team than what we saw at the end of the season because we had so many damn injuries. Like, our offensive line was in constant rotation. Our secondary was in disarray. Our linebacker, like, it was a lot going on last year. So I feel like once we get healthy, we got our quarterback back, our offensive line back, like, things are going to get back to moving the way that we thought things were going to move last year. And like I said, clean up the turnovers, get a few more turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, stop the damn run, and we should be right back in the thick of things. And so it's like, all right, Cowboys fan, let's calm down. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get to camp and then ultimately get ready for Tampa. But we should be – there's no team I can say in the NFL or NFC specifically that scares me. I mean, not that I can think of. So, you know.
Well, listen, this is why they don't scare you, because your team's so good.
Right.
If you was damn I don't know, like the Eagles or something, because the Eagles gonna be terrible this year.
Right,
If you was the Eagles, it's a lot of teams that make you nervous,
right?
Because it's a lot of teams better than you. We playing Kansas City this year. Let's go see him.
Right.
Let's
right.
go see,
That's where
let's
I'm
go
at.
beat that. Look, man. I was watching some Bucks film, man. I wish Tom Brady would throw the ball to my defense 3 times and we still lose the game. Oh, please.
Right.
Look, everybody, before we leave, this y'all homework. Voch says this. Go to your Googles, right? Because Google's your friend. Type in Russell Wilson game log. 2021, and look at them last 8 games. Look at Russell Wilson struggle. Look at them 150-yard games, and Dak Prescott never did no mess like that.
Right.
And that's a playoff team. Just imagine what yours can do.
Right.
That's your home.
We sitting here arguing over CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. That's how spoiled we are offensively, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but let me ask you one last thing, Voch, before I let you go, because I know the offensive line is kind of your thing. Like, you like offensive line. How do you feel about the depth? Yeah, O-line film. You know what I'm saying? Can you get those shirts? You got the merch out?
Yeah, it's I will drop that link in the description. 100%.
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead, do that thing. Do your thing, man. Might give me one of those. But yeah, so how do you feel about the depth with our offensive line? Like we mentioned Terrence Steele, Connor McGovern, Brendan Knight, some of these young guys we kind of been talking about kind of got a lot of reps last year due to injuries. Do you feel like we have enough depth when it comes to our offensive line if something was to happen with Lyle Collins and also Tyron again? Or do you think that there's some more plays or something you need to bring in, and as far as like veteran leadership is have the kind of for that second tier?
I think if we had to play with Cam Fleming, Connor Williams, Tyler, Zach, and La'el Collins, we'd have been fine. You know what I mean? Like, if we only had to replace one thing,
right,
we'd have been fine. We were just in this weird situation where everybody was gone.
Right.
Everybody was hurt. I don't think we ever going to be in that situation again. There was actually an offensive line. If you haven't noticed, I've just done some offensive line notes for offensive line video. That's why I'm just so passionate about O-line right now. That video is coming soon. Stay tuned. There was actually, we actually ran out the combination of Brandon Knight, Terrence Steele, both Connors, and Joe Looney. That was actually the lineup 1 week.
Right.
And we lived, and we was against Washington football team, and it was 17-17 at halftime. We got whooped later, but we had to live with that line. Right. And that line is about what a lot of, lines in the league look like. Offensive line around the league is terrible. You know what I mean? So y'all may hate Connor Williams. Y'all may think Connor Williams is the worst offensive lineman out the bunch, but we got a pretty damn good bunch. You know what I mean? So all Tyron got to do is be healthy. And according to him, he been playing with one arm for the past 4 years because he finally just got his neck surgery or whatever, and that he feels good. But if it's a situation where Tyron does get hurt, Ty Nsekhe, Connor Williams, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, La'el Collins is okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? As long as 5 tackles don't get hurt and you run a tackle 6 and 7 out there. You know what I mean? Right. So we'll be good to go. Skywalk still in the chat box. What's good with you, sir? Big salute. He's in Dallas now. Yeah, I will take you shooting one day, sir. Hang tight.
Yeah, my guy's official in Dallas now, man. I've been trying to get there for the longest. I ain't gonna be there, man. So, but shout out to that guy Sky doing great things, man. So you in Dallas too, right? Ain't you?
I'm in Houston.
Oh, Houston. Okay, so you close.
Same
thing. Close enough. Let me get your last take. Josh Ball, right? So you mentioned offensive line. Where do you think Josh Ball fits as far as his offensive line is concerned? Do you think that he's going to be left tackle, right tackle?
As a player, and we only talking about Josh Ball as a player.
Yeah, we'll throw everything else out.
I think his future is, and it's the thing about offensive line, man. If you good enough to be a swing dude, you good enough to be a starter in this league. That's just how life works. Like Cam Fleming starting somewhere, Cam Irvin starting somewhere. Eric Flowers starting somewhere. Chaz Green was starting before he got kicked out of the league. You know what I mean? Right. Guys just leave here and they go elsewhere and they be great. Mm-hmm. I foresee Josh Ball being one of them kind of dudes to where he has to get stronger, first of all, because he doesn't trust his power and he ends up lunging and leaning a little bit. But he has technique, he has punch, he has movement, but he just got to get a little more comfortable with his body. So he'll get bigger and stronger. He's kind of like Doug Free. He's built exactly like Doug. He like top to bottom, technique and everything. He's a Doug Free kind of guy. Right. The problem is I just think Doug Free got really good as an old man towards the end of his career. You know what I mean? So Like when I say Josh Ball is Doug Free, I mean early Doug Free, but we stop after like year 4. But he's going to be a guy that's going to be a swing guy. He can play left and right tackle, but I think he's a guy that won't get paid, and I don't think he's going to be the future of the Cowboys or anything like that. So I think we would rather draft. We like if Lael's around because he's younger, and Tyron like what 30? Tyron ain't even old,
Right, he's still
but
he's still young. I think he just
Tyron's
30.
football old.
Right.
But if Tyron was to ever retire, I don't see Josh Ball being the long-term option. I see him being swing guy till his contract is up. He'll go somewhere else, then we'll draft the left tackle for the future. In my mind, that's how it works.
Boom, boom. There it is, man. My guy Voch, man, I appreciate you for coming on. Like I said, bro, I appreciate your channel, all the content you do, especially draft content. Who's your draft pick for next year? You already got a guy? I know you said you don't dive into the draft until like late. You know what I'm saying? Do you got a guy that's in mind right now? Or
I think that people are maniacs when they have 2022 draft boards up already. I think that comes from people playing a bunch of Madden where they can just simulate the season. They just get right for the off season. Like, fam, like I actually enjoy football. So let me see what my first damn rookies is doing.
Right.
And then when January comes around, I'll get into my next year draft. So I don't know none of the kids coming out next year. I know Thibodeau because he was like the #1 pass rusher in the whole nation one time when he was in high school. But besides Thibodeau, like Rattler, and I know the kid from Carolina, Howell, the quarterback from Carolina. Besides that, I don't know none of them kids. But by next April, I'll know all of them.
I'm Stingley Jr., man, already. I'm already.
Oh, yeah, Stingley.
Give me my corner out of LSU. My
You're not going to lose enough games against Stingley.
Well, we going to be on Hard Knocks, bro. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
We're not going to lose enough games against Stingley. Get that out your mind. I don't want you to be hurt 2 years in a row, man.
Hey, man, I'm used to it now. I'm used to it by now, man. But, yeah, we already on the Stingley train just in case, man. We're going to find a way to maneuver and go ahead and move up and get that guy, man. So, like I said, my guy, I appreciate you for coming on. Like I said, keep doing the great work. You're going to be at Oxnard. We're going to be at Oxnard. So he's going to drop in great content. So definitely subscribe to this channel, y'all, if you haven't already. Voch Lombardi, the link's below in the description. Go ahead and get your offensive line, merch, and all the merch, man. And definitely support my guy, man, because he's doing great things, man. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all in the chat. Thursday night, we're going to do a round table. It's going to be me, Space Cowboy, my guy Rome, Cowboys Fan Talk, and Joe from CowboysBlog.net. So we're going to do a round table. Continue to dive into some of these offensive and defensive matchups going into camp, getting y'all prepared for camp, man, and get ready ultimately to beat Tampa. I'm going to be in the building versus Tampa, man. I'm not trying to hear, Voch, I'm not trying to hear them cannons.
You got money, man. Goddamn. You going to the fights, you going to the games, you going to Oxnard.
We do a little something, man, but I'm
trying, man.
I'm trying not to hear them cannons go off in my ears, man. So it's like, all right, I need this defense to step up and beat Tom Brady, bro. So, you know, it is what it is, man. So it's your boy J Tuck, man. If you're new to the channel, comment, like, subscribe, turn that notification bell. Also, CowboysFansOnly.com for your official CFO merch. I appreciate all the support. Follow me on Twitter at JTuck151, man. So I appreciate $, man. Straight cash on me. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Everyone stay safe, stay blessed.